So we're here with Ms Beasly, the current owner of this beautiful home. So Karen, why don't you explain a little bit about this house and kind of how it came into your possession?
Well, the house was originally built in 1913. It was the first house built by the Kuglers. They built 3 in Brooksville. It's had several owners over the years, but the longest owner that actually lived here was Judge Treiman. He moved here probably mid-60s, and he stayed here until about 1989. Well, when I first moved to Brooksville in 1980, I went to work for him and his daughter, and he was the current owner. And it was, I got to visit here quite often. In fact, in 1983, I actually got married in this house. So it's kind of like it's made full circle that I was able to purchase it and then turn it into more of a lodging and event site for people to come and stay, have parties, things like that, because this house is really a treasure in Brooksville that most people don't know it's here until they drive by it and go, oh my.
I have to say, I'm guilty of that myself, and so that's what attracted me to this house. I was just excited that it happened to be a family friend of mine.
Yes, and it's worked out that it was purchased by many people along the way, but the person who really put a lot of work into this house when it went into foreclosure was Kerry Carlson. He restored a lot of the floors, the electrical, the plumbing. And then when he sold it to another family several years ago, I purchased it from them. And then I've had to do some more heavy lifting, the roof, gutters, all the underbelly stuff that a house this old needs to have done in order to keep it in the condition that it needs to be in, because we don't want this to go and be destroyed.
Absolutely not. We definitely have to preserve our history. And this house being on the National Registry is extremely important for us to ensure we
most definitely,
keep it
because
here.
it's older homes can the wood that was used to build this is hard to pine. You can't even put a nail through it, but it still is susceptible to termites and weathering and things like that. So it needs to keep a lot of maintenance and upkeep.
Well, we're also excited for the town because this is opened up to an event space.
Yes, people get to come and they can do a baby shower, bridal shower, rehearsal dinners, and and then we have lodgings also. It's not technically a bread and breakfast because if I'm doing an event, I don't have any place to feed people. So there are 2 other places in town that are bread and breakfast that do provide breakfast, but here it's just reduced rate, and then it's just lodgings for the day.
We actually stopped at the Dolan House earlier, and as part of the Mermaid Trail. So.
Oh yes,
yeah.
yes.
And so if you're looking at a place to stay, the Dolan House, or if you rent the space out here, you have Ms Beasly's place, the Treiman House.
Yeah.
So with that being said, what is your favorite thing about this house?
My favorite thing. Well, first off, the history of it. When I first visited this house, it was redecorated in the 70s. So when I came in the 80s, it was the shag rug, like the yarn, the black and gold, the mirrored walls. It was done in a 70s decor. So now that I see that it's been restored back to something that would have been more traditional back in the 1930s, or I prefer that type of decor.
Well, I love this house so much that I'm even doing my retirement ceremony here later this fall. And I just have to appreciate you allowing me to do that because the home is so beautiful, and then I have a place for some of my Marine buddies to stay after the event.
Well, and then one of the other events, Judge Treiman, when he owned the house, he did a Christmas party every December 23rd. So everybody knew on the 23rd, don't plan anything, there was a Christmas party. So I'm reinstituting that, but with a twist. I'm going to pick a local charity, a different charity every year, and open invite to anybody who wants to come, and the price of admission is whatever that charity needs, is that you bring some of their items. Last year we did Operation Heartfelt, and everybody was required to bring certain food items. We filled up a cargo truck and they raised $750. So this year, I haven't picked out the charity yet, but I will be, and then it'll be posted on my website. And then if you want to come to a Christmas party, dress up. I have 12 Christmas trees in the house. There is not a spot in the house that's not Christmas.
Well, I love that. And anyone that's ever been to Brooksville during Christmas time knows how big Christmas is to the community here. So I appreciate you sharing that, and definitely want to get more information on it as we get closer, so that way we can let our audience know that.
Yep, and it will be a fun event. So everybody mark your calendars now.
Well, there we go. Well, let's explore the house a little bit so you guys can get the full effect of what the Treiman house looks like.